Hi, Josh. It's Amanda with the Rutland Public Defender's Office. Wanted to touch base with you in regards to the order of non-hospitalization. We had given you the release to sign. I understand that you did not sign it, but we did get a copy of the order of non-hospitalization. That obligates signing, or at least actually not signing the release, but calling over to Rutland Mental Health to set up an intake with them. If you don't want to sign the release, which is just for service planning and coordination, that's fine. But you do need to call over to Rutland Mental Health and get in touch with them. We're past the time frame right now for that to occur. So I would just encourage you to call and set that up. It's entirely fine for you to set that up on your own. It would go through intake, and Alan is the person that we spoke with and who's been handling this. The phone number for Rutland Mental Health Central Intake is on the order itself, 775-2381. I'm going to get in touch with Alan and have him also reach out to you as well. Thank you, Josh.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To save it, press 9.
There were some documents that you filed fairly recently, within the past several weeks.
Yep.
Talking about Attorney Mao and this matter. I'm trying to discover whether you had an idea that Attorney Mao might appear with you today in this RFA case. Was that something you thought might happen?
I was under the impression that public defense is obligated to defend me in all cases related to a criminal nature.
Okay.
This case is cross-contaminated criminally and civilly, in which I have not received any counsel civilly, and I've really not received any criminally.
This is a civil case. The public defenders do not appear and represent people in civil cases. So there was no...
I'm also not receiving representation through the criminal cases.
Well, that's not something I can handle. Did you want to hire a lawyer to represent you today?
I wanted to hire a lawyer, although I've received damages.
May I approach you?
What?
May I approach you?
Yes.
Let me watch.
What's that?
Let me watch.
What is the problem?
So for purposes of this coming week, it will be a hospitalization hearing. I will
Why are
argue-
we even going through a hospitalization hearing? There's no
Yeah.
problems other than what have been brought by the state.
So when there is a finding of incompetence, and this is just kind of how the system works, anytime there is a finding of incompetence, the underlying criminal proceedings themselves and litigation of either search and seizure issues, trial on those charges, that halts at that point. Okay?
Wow.
And so then we're in this, and
There
this is
was
what we've
no
been-
issue of incompetency until it was brought to the state's attention. And
Understood.
then they're alleging incompetency. And you gotta prevent records from being brought back to the state's attention.
So where we are right now is with that, the state had their, or the court actually had their own evaluation with Dr. Young, and I think that was the second time that Dr. Young had evaluated you.
And
So
I'm
the-
assuming you said you watched him. He showed no respect for the law. You know, if he's gonna testify credibly,
Mhm.
he should have no problem sitting down and actually going over everything.
Mhm.
He completely blew his case off. I had no problem going over anything with him.
So, and he's
course.
not, I mean, he's a doctor, he's not an attorney as far as that, so he won't go through,
Well, if he's threatening my health and welfare
okay.
on fraud
Mhm.
or inaccuracies, I expect them to be brought to his attention.
Okay. And just, I didn't have a note on it, I thought maybe I did, but my recollection of the beginning of the conversation was that you weren't looking to proceed, civilly against kind of anything and wanting everything to be done.
Amanda,
with the
there's
cases.
a lot of damages done in this case.
So, I understand that, I'm just trying to clarify if you had said that before or not.
I said I'm not interested in suing my own people for damages caused by other people.
Okay.
Of course, we have a problem now because we're needlessly extending these cases, you know.
I think an easier way to maybe come to an end of the extending of the cases and an end to continuing orders and an end to continuing having hospitalization hearings and non-hospitalization hearings and competency hearings in these matters is if there's an order of non-hospitalization issued to abide by that order as a means of wrapping up the cases and having the cases taken care of. I would not want to agree to any order of non-hospitalization on your behalf. I don't think Rita would either if it did not include for cases to be dismissed. And to stop
Amanda,
this cycle of coming back into court and
we
dealing
have
with.
tens and tens of thousands of dollars worth of damages.
Mhm.
Half of that's including you not representing your cases as quickly as you should be. I've provided you information. That information, if represented, counteracts against the state.